Hi, I'm that dude with the beard, and today we'll be taking a look at the incredibly long-awaited return of the classic Duke Nukem game. Now, I'm going to say this. I've been really waiting for this game. I've been counting down the years, sort of. Okay, not the years, but the days and weeks, yes. Because I played Duke Nukem 64 as a kid, and even Duke Nukem 3D. But you know what? Those are the only two games I played. And I had incredible respect for those games. They were fun, they were action-packed, they introduced new things to the gaming franchise. Well, I shouldn't say franchise, I should say the gaming world. So, when I saw that there were reviews for Duke Nukem Forever, I put it in, and well, I got these really awful reviews coming from IGN, GameStop, and all others. In fact, the only good reviewer I ever saw was someone who gave it an 80 out of 100, calling it a good Duke Nukem game. Well, that's weird. What's so different about IGN and GameStop and other ones? Hold on, let me check. Alright, let's see here. IGN. What does it say? Doesn't compare to modern games. Huh. Right. Let me check out GameStop's. GameSpot. Sorry. Okay. Same problem. It doesn't compare with modern games. It can't be their only complaint. All right. Let's just take a look at one more. Doesn't compare with modern games. Are you kidding me? It's Duke Nukem. It's not supposed to be a modern game. It's supposed to be a reimagining of what fans have wanted for years. You know what? I'm going to review this game not as a critic, but as a fan of the Duke Nukem series. I don't care IGN or GameStop or Eurogamer. You're all going to have to learn something. Duke is not going to conform. Duke never conforms. Look at him. He's a misogynist. He drinks beer. He smokes cigars. And most of all, he kicks ass. And he doesn't wear power armor. Oh shit. Probably gonna get sued for that, aren't I? Nah, whatever. Let's just take a look. The story is, well, standard Duke fare. Duke is a celebrity, and of course, everybody loves him. He goes to the Late Show, he gives people autographs, and he even has a game of his own. So this is our character? He's just like in retirement? Well, no. As soon as the aliens take his babes, oh man, he's pumped. He's ready to kick some alien ass and play some pool. And I guess get a lap dance too. Why can't my life be like that? Oh, well, moving on. The story is relatively good Duke Nukem fare. And aside from that, that's all I can say. The way it goes about telling the story, however, is a little mismatched to me. Not saying that I don't like the story. Oh, no. I just think that sometimes they could have done a little bit better. But aside from that, I'm going to give the story a 6 out of 10. Graphics are, well, they're not the greatest, but they certainly aren't the worst. No, I've seen worse. Especially for the PlayStation 3. So, what is the major problem with these graphics, you might ask? Well, it's simple. When they're still. The graphics for the aliens and some of the character models, when they're still, don't look all that great. Now, some of the character models aren't terrible. I think the women really benefited from this. And it's actually nice to see some other things that we never saw in true 3D finally hit us. Such as the Siloid Emperor, the Enforcers, the Assault Captains, the Pig Cops, everything in here are just so nice to look at when they're charging and trying to kill you. When you're standing in front of them and looking at them, not so much. I'm not gonna say the graphics are terrible, but they're decent and yet good enough to be a Duke game. I give the graphics a 7 out of 10. Sound design, it what makes this game a Duke Nukem game. The rock music, Duke's one-liners, the great sounds for the guns, they're all there, and it's so nice to hear it all over again in a more modern tone. I'm just gonna say it, the sound is great. 8 out of 10 for the sound. As for the gameplay, well, There's some good things, and some bad things, but not too bad. No, 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 no. Don't get me wrong. There are some really good things. Like, the shooting is just great for the game. It's got good, solid shooting mechanics. And that's great about it. The AI, on the other hand, is a little weird, but then again, this is a game about aliens, and Duke is sort of like an Arnold Schwarzenegger type character, which in reality is not a bad thing. Did you say reality in relation to a game? I did. Anyway, the mini-games are a great way to break up the constant fighting, and it does serve as a great way to get ego boost, which is nice. Aside from that, however, the minigames kind of tend to be a little weird on me. Some of them have worked really well, while others have really busted my balls. Figuratively. And the driving parts are rather good, too. I'm surprised that Duke was able to do... The Duke team, the new one at least, was able to do so much new stuff with it. I think that's really what benefited this game. It's not conforming to the new games where it's such a linear path and a point-and-click shoot thing. Oh look, there's a guy right there. Let's shoot him. Oh look, the story progressed. No. In this game, you gotta make your game progress. You just can't assume that if you sit there for 20 minutes, the game will just start playing itself for you. Duke is a badass. Then there's the multiplayer. This is kind of the kicker for some. I've always thought that if you bring single player into a multiplayer platform, it's gonna be a little different. For Duke, it's a little true, but other times, it's not. Some of the parts of it are really fun, some of them aren't. I did like Duke Match, or King of the Hill Duke, I forget what it's called. Hail to the King, or something. I'm probably saying it wrong, but whatever. I did like the multiplayer for what it's worth, and in all honesty, the gameplay is just really great. So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 too. Out of 10, not 2. Yeah, I kind of stumbled on my words there. Next is the replay. As a Duke game, the replay is there, and it does have some good points. There are some bad points, but not to the point where you're going to hate the game's replayability. There is some challenge involved in the game, but it's not to say you're gonna die so much so that you're not gonna throw the controller at the screen. I did die some. I didn't get too angry, especially since it was stupid mistakes like not moving from one spot, or usually how I do it, no cover. Honestly, I would replay this game a lot. So, replay is an 8 out of 10 as well. So, all in all, does this game feel like a Duke Nukem game? In a word, yes. Is it the best modern game? No. But that's not to say you shouldn't give this game a try, because in reality, this game gets a 7.6 out of 10. It's an above average game with some good parts to it, and other times, not so good parts. But that's not to say you won't enjoy yourself if you're a big Duke Nukem fan. If you're not a Nukem fan, then don't play it. It just bothers me that so many non-Nukem fans play it and hate the game. If only there was a Nukem fan who was able to tell people, it's Duke Nukem. Either deal with it, or don't. Whatever. I'm that dude with the beard, signing off.